Centuries ago, he was an esteemed martial deity, the heir to the throne of Zional. Today, as he rises to the celestial realm for the third instance, he is a humble deity, devoid of followers and gathering mere remnants. Having accrued a debt of 8 million merit credits, our hero Xyleon is dispatched to the earthly plane to tackle a phantom groom abducting brides on Mount Yujin. Navigating his way to Yugin Mountain, Xyleon pauses at a tea house. As he unwinds, a shimmering butterfly catches his eye. It's then he learns that Nanfeng and Fu Yao will be his allies in this mission. Engaged in their deliberations, they observe a procession of locals with a palanquin. Suddenly, a woman named Xio Yin dashes towards the procession, warning the supposed bride of a ruse. To everyone's astonishment, the palanquin contains a mere puppet. When the group's leader turns aggressive towards Xio Yin, Xyleon intervenes and rescues her. That evening, the trio, Xyleon, Fu Yao, and Nanfeng, find refuge in the Feng Zim Temple. During their talk, they concoct a scheme. Xyleon will masquerade as a bride, acting as bait for the spectral groom. As they journey with Xyleon in the palanquin, he alone hears a haunting melody. Concurrently, the group detects wolves preparing to strike. Xyleon instructs his comrades to flee, leaving him vulnerable. Suddenly, an unknown figure extends a hand from behind the palanquin's drapery. Xyleon accepts the gesture, and they traverse the woods together. However, when the stranger tries to unveil Xyleon, he reacts with force. Yet in the face of Xyleon's resistance, the enigmatic man merely grins, leading Xyleon to a derelict temple. Inside, he stumbled upon the 17 vanished brides tragically deceased. As footsteps echoed, the ghost bridegroom materialized. Concealing himself amongst the brides, Xyleon sprang into action when an opportunity presented itself. However, the specter evaded capture, morphing into an inky mist. Upon exiting, Xyleon reunited with villagers and his allies Fang and Fu Yao. Although their investigation yielded no clues, they apprehended Xiao Ying, who had stealthily trailed them. The mob was quick to accuse her, but her innocence soon became evident. Avarice guiding them, the villagers sought to claim the deceased brides for the bounties, yet their greed was interrupted when one villager mysteriously turned to stone. Pursuing an elusive silhouette, they found a grim tableau of bodies suspended from trees. Fu Yao and Nanfeng conveyed their theory, the work of Karong, a malevolent specter. Delving back into the temple, Xyleon and Nanfeng discerned an anomaly. 18 veils for 17 brides. They deduced the ghostly antagonist wasn't a groom, but rather a malefic bride. The reanimated brides attacked, driving the panicked villagers to seek refuge within Mingwen Temple's courtyard. Xyleon, employing his expertise, cast a protective barrier. As he engaged the brides, he reached out spiritually to Ling Wen, seeking insight into a tragic tale of unrequited love involving Chu and Jai. Emerging from the temple's shadows, the vengeful bride lamented her unmet desires. In a climactic confrontation, Xyleon was gravely wounded by Chu and Jai. Yet even as darkness approached, he vowed to care for Lang Ying in her stead. The ensuing battle was interrupted by a celestial intervention. A radiant beam pierced the gloom, heralding the arrival of Kaze and other officials. They apprehended Chu and Jai, consigning them to eternal confinement beneath a mountain. Gratitude evident, Pei Zhu narrated the heart-wrenching chronicle of Chu, Jai, and Pemming to Xyleon. As peace resumed, Xyleon, Nanfeng, and Fu Yao regrouped. With Chu and Zhen's aides tending to the tragic aftermath, the trio embarked on a poignant journey, gathering berries in remembrance. While with Lang Ying, Xyleon observes his own unhealed wounds. Upon further inspection by Wang Ying, it becomes apparent he's contracted the human face disease. The sight of Lang Ying afflicted with the same condition leaves Xyleon stunned. However, before any inquiries can be made, Lang Ying flees the scene. Determined to find answers, Xyleon implores his companions to pursue Lang Ying immediately. Upon reaching his destination, Xyleon engages in a discourse with the celestial beings. They uncover that he encountered Huqing on the mountain. These divine officials recount the legend of the 4 grand disasters, emphasizing Huqing's formidable feat of overpowering 33 renowned gods, leading to their eventual downfall and obscurity. Subsequently, Lingwen informs Xyleon that he's on the brink of settling his debt. Sharing his aspirations, Xyleon mentions his intent to descend to the mortal world and erect a sanctuary in his honor. Submerging himself in the routines of village life, he collects trinkets throughout the day. During his return journey, he spots an ox-driven cart and hops aboard. Immersed in ancient scrolls, he's approached by a fellow traveler. Their conversation weaves between divine entities and spirits. Intrigued by the traveler's mention of a unique name, Crimson Rain's sought flower, Xyleon listens intently. The young man delves into the lore of Huqing, elucidating how he earned his moniker Crimson Rain's sought flower, the vulnerability of his ashes, and the tale of how Huqing removed his own right eye. Introducing himself as San Lang, they soon spot a group of cloaked phantoms advancing towards them. Acting promptly, Aileen casts an invisibility barrier. Despite their camouflage, the phantoms sense their presence and give chase. Amid the chaos, Aileen's attempt at dialogue with San Lang proves fruitless. Yet, when San Lang fixes a stern gaze upon the phantoms, they scatter in fear. Upon reaching the Puki Shrine, Aileen, grateful for San Lang's company, invites him to spend the night, an offer that San Lang accepts. Before settling in, Aileen rouses the slumbering ox cart driver. As he arranges a straw bedding for their shared rest, San Lang remarks on the absence of a deity painting in the temple and volunteers to craft one the next day. Delighted by San Lang's knowledge of the Crown Prince of Xian, Aileen feels a mix of curiosity and embarrassment when San Lang inspects his bandaged injuries. By dawn, Aileen discovers a freshly painted image of the Crown Prince gracing the shrine. Complimenting San Lang's artistry, he offers to groom San Lang's hair, currently inspecting for signs of ethereal origins. Their day progresses with temple maintenance, but their routine is disrupted when an ox cart driver arrives with a band of villagers. They bear an ailing elderly man who, upon regaining consciousness within the shrine, recounts his escape from Banu's pass. However, Aileen discerns the man's non-human nature. In a tense moment as the old figure attempts to flee, San Lang thwarts him using a mere chopstick, causing the entity to disintegrate. Perplexed, Aileen attempts to consult the celestial communications system regarding the enigma of Banu, but is met with silence. As he resumes temple upkeep, an unexpected visit from Fuyao and Nanfeng seeks to aid in Aileen's quest. However, their attention swiftly turns to the mysterious San Lang, leading to an intense inquiry. Cillian intervenes when Fuyao and Nanfeng begin interrogating San Lang, urging them to remain calm. With the tension momentarily diffused, Nanfeng sets up a distance-shortening array. Traversing the desert, the group stumbles upon a desolate dwelling and takes respite there. Taking advantage of this pause, Fuyao and Nanfeng quietly probe into San Lang's background. From the house, Cillian observes two mysterious women sprinting in the distance. Suspicion aroused, the group resolves to tail them. As they proceed, a fierce gust sweeps Cillian off his feet. Grasping for stability, he inadvertently seizes San Lang with his silk band weapon. Swiftly adapting, Cillian utilizes the band to ensnare the others, ensuring their safety. Once grounded, they find refuge in a nearby cavern. Venturing deeper into the cave, the group encounters caravan traders also seeking sanctuary from the desert's dangers. The baffling choice of the merchants to journey through such perilous land intrigues the group. Among them, they meet Zhao, a local navigator. To Cillian's embarrassment, he realizes he's inadvertently seated on a stone plaque. Examining it, he discerns inscriptions in Bangwanese, partially translating them to identify it as a memorial for a general from Yongsan. The atmosphere turns tense when a merchant spots a venomous creature, the scorpion snake. In the ensuing chaos, Aileen spots one of the snakes lunging at San Lang and intervenes, getting bitten in the process. San Lang, in a surprising move, sucks out the venom, ensuring Cillian's well-being. Once the danger has passed, the group resolves that Cillian, San Lang, and Nanfeng will proceed to Shanafern with Zhao guiding them. Arriving post-sunset, the trio navigates the alleyways. Sensing an approaching figure, they promptly seek cover. The two women from earlier are seen searching for Cillian and the group. As one of them approaches the spot where Leon and San Lang are concealed, they find themselves cornered. In a diversionary move, Nanfeng causes an explosion and engages the women momentarily before leading them on a chase, allowing Leon and San Lang to head to the palace in pursuit of the Shanyu Fern. Upon finding the Shanyu Fern, San Lang quickly applies it to the bite on Cillian's hand, mending it immediately. Their relief is short-lived as a chilling scream pierces the quiet. They discover a face emerging from the mud, claiming he had been captured by Banu soldiers and interred as a nutrient source for the Shanyu Fern. The ruckus draws the attention of the Banu soldiers and their general, who swiftly take the group captive. The general commands that both Zhao and Tainxing be cast into the sinner's pit. In a brave move, Zhao confronts Kimo, only to be overpowered and thrown into the dreaded pit. As Cillian readies himself to leap into the pit to aid his friend, he's struck by the sight of San Lang standing pensively at its edge, who then willingly plummets in, whispering words that go unheard. Confounded by San Lang's unexpected act, Leon is about to follow when he's interrupted by Kimo. In the ensuing struggle, Leon drags the general into the pit with him. Yet, upon landing, Leon finds himself obstructed by an unseen force, preventing him from using his silk band. To his surprise, he's apprehended by San Lang, who now appears altered. Leon notes with unease that San Lang neither breathes nor has a heartbeat, making him appear lifeless. Their moment of confrontation is interrupted by Kimo, who discovers his soldiers have been slain. San Lang swiftly overpowers him using a scimitar, all the while holding Cillian securely. As they question Kimo's motives, San Lang cryptically wonders aloud if Zillion is more curious about his seemingly inhuman nature. Zillion, however, emphasizes that their rapport is paramount, not their origins. When they turn their focus back to Kimo, he is initially reluctant to divulge any information. However, Kimo begins to spill information when they assure him of their intention to end the Imperial Preceptor and menacingly point to the corpses of his fallen soldiers. While Xyleon tries to defuse the situation, San Lang silences him. Suddenly, the mentioned Imperial Preceptor descends into the pit, quickly noticing her lifeless soldiers. She comments on their liberation from a ceaseless cycle. When she inquires about the incident, Zillion insists it was unintentional, introducing himself as a heavenly official and naming San Lang as his associate. Kimo, overwhelmed by rage, launches a ferocious assault on the Imperial Preceptor. Coming to her defense, Xyleon intervenes, recognizing her as General Hua upon closer inspection. He soon realizes she is Banyu. Xyleon recounts an incident from 2 centuries ago, when he inadvertently found himself in the desert only to be conscripted by the military. Known by the pseudonym Hozai and sometimes referred to as General, he encountered a famished Banyu. Offering her sustenance, he won her allegiance, with her subsequently shadowing him wherever he went. When queried about her current agenda, Banyu indicates their defiance as the root cause. An attempt to flee is futile, and shockingly, serpents begin raining into the pit. With everyone ensnared in the sinner's pit, Fueo points fingers at Banyu, suspecting her to be manipulating the snakes due to their lack of aggression. However, San Lang counters, highlighting that he seems to be the sole target of their attack. Fueo shifts blame to San Lang for the chaos. As the deluge of snakes intensifies, San Lang unfurls a crimson umbrella, shielding both himself and Cillian. Connecting the dots, Cillian theorizes another presence lurking in the cave. In an unexpected twist, Banyu is abducted by an unseen entity. As a menacing blade emerges from the shadows, San Lang intervenes, wielding his weapon to thwart its trajectory towards Xyleon. Engaging in combat with the stranger, San Lang discerns the identity of his opponent, Pei Zhu. Piecing together the puzzle, he identifies him as a Zhao in disguise. Cillian recalls that Pei Zhu was a steadfast ally of Banyu during their younger days, often stepping in when she faced brutalization at the hands of local children. Believing General Hugo to have perished, Banyu sought vengeance. Suddenly, a feminine voice echoes. From above, the voice interrupts, questioning if Pei Zhu felt any remorse for slaying the innocent merchants. Turning their gaze upwards, they identify the woman as the true Wind Master. She reprimands Pei Zhu and hands Zillion a container, instructing him to transfer Banyu into it. They then return to Tian Sheng's group to administer healing to his ailing uncle. Once everyone departs, Xyleon inquires about Hugo Cheng's preferred meal. Drawing nearer, San Lang suggests Xyleon address him by his chosen name. While preparing dinner at Puki Shrine, Zillion chats with Hu Cheng, noting a distinct feeling when Hu Cheng addresses him as His Highness. Probing about Hu Cheng's presence at Nujun Mountain, he receives a vague answer hinting at either boredom or a specific intent towards Xyleon. When Hu Cheng questions how Xyleon discerned his true identity, the reply emphasizes his distinctive attire and unyielding demeanor. Curious, Xyleon requests to seek Hu Cheng's authentic form, but receives an apology. The Supreme Ghost Sultan reveals its true nature. Mid-conversation, Cillian discovers his meal is overcooked. As he prepares to retire, Hu Cheng poses a question about potential revulsion to his genuine appearance. Xyleon attempts to reassure him, but upon turning to Hu Cheng, finds him seemingly overwhelmed with emotion. However, upon closer inspection, Zillion realizes Hu Cheng is, in fact, chuckling. In mild annoyance, Xyleon wishes him good night, to which Hu Cheng promises to reveal his true self upon their next encounter. The narrative concludes the following morning as Xyleon awakens, discovering a silver necklace adorning his neck, with no sign or hint of Hu Cheng's location.